How's it going, guys? This is Justin from the Tree of Woe Show, and this is the Monday Night Raw review for November 5th, 2012, and it's late. I'm sorry. But it's from England. I don't remember exactly where they were, but they were somewhere over there. And the show starts off with Paul Heyman and The Miz. They're backstage talking. The Miz just looks pissed, and you see the poster of The Miz in the background on the Survivor Series poster. And Miz basically says that he doesn't trust Punk or Paul Heyman, and so he quits the team. He says, "You know what? I'm off the team." And Paul Heyman was just devastated. Like, we will never find someone as badass as The Miz. He's one of the best fighters of all time. So I thought that was funny. But it's a good way to start off the show. It's like, okay, what the heck's going on? You know, guys are quitting teams already in the first 3 minutes. What's going on here? And then in another twist, the show starts off with a tag match. I know, right? 6-man tag. You had Rey, Sin Cara, and R-Truth against Primetime Players and Cesaro. Team face, even though two-thirds of their faces are covered. But anyways, Rey Mysterio, Sin Cara, and R-Truth get the win over the Primetime Players and Cesaro. Dang it. That's all I have to say. This match did not go the way I wanted it to. So we're going to move on because it didn't go the way I wanted it to. And then all of a sudden, we're right into the whole Vicky, Cena, AJ thing. Vicky comes out. She shows the old footage that we already saw. And then she has new footage. And it's AJ. And AJ walks down the hall and into a room. And then she says, "Oh, but we have a different angle." And it's a different angle. And it's like, okay, this makes no sense. There's like, that doesn't even look like the same place. And then it's Cena opens the puts the do not disturb sign, and then dips out. And then Cena's out there, just like, "Oh, that's dumbest. That was doctored footage. That's stupid." Which it was stupid looking. It wasn't even the same hallway. It didn't look like whatever. Then Cena cracks a couple jokes. Oh, props to Cena though. It was funny when he's like, "It's like me learning another wrestling move. It's just not gonna happen. I have like four. Do I have 4 or 5? Do the tackles count?" I thought that was funny, personally. But yeah, this segment just kind of just going and going. And then AJ backstage, and she's talking about how, "Vicky, you don't want me to come out there because I'll beat you down because I'm like 14 pounds, I say." But yeah, so, and then all of a sudden Dolph comes by, and old AJ just talking about, "I just want to do what I love." And Dolph's like, "I think we all know what you love." And I'm like, of course. So then right when that happens, Cena just takes off to the back, and Vicky's just like laughing, and yeah, I was like, "Oh, what is going on?" And then we got Cody Rhodes versus Daniel Bryan. The crowd went nuts for Daniel Bryan. This crowd all night was awesome. Shout out to the crowd. Gosh, they made things that should have been just dead silence, but they made them interesting. I don't know what was going on. But Cody Rhodes defeats Daniel Bryan pretty quickly. And then all of a sudden, Cody's on the mic. Damian Sandow could beat Kane just as easy as that. And Sandow's like, "Yeah." And then he's like, wait, what? So Kane ends up beating Sandow pretty quickly. So, hey, they're building a tag team feud. So, can't complain about that. Then we got your boy, everybody's favorite, Brad Maddox. He comes out, and he's basically saying how he came up with that whole plot himself, had nothing to do with Heyman, nothing to do with Punk, and he just wants to be a wrestler. He's never had a chance, and he just needed a way to get his foot in the door, and now he's famous after the whole referee thing, and he made an impact. And then all of a sudden, he randomly wants a match with Ryback, and I'm like, wait a second. Where are you going with this, Bradley? But then Vince comes out, and he's like, "Well, there's a difference between wanting something and whatever, a death wish or whatever," but he's like, "I'll give you $1 million contract if you beat Ryback next week." So look forward to Brad Maddox versus the Ryback next week. And then it was just weird. He brings Vicky out, and he's like just bossing her, like telling her what to say. It was just really weird. Like, I don't know, but basically, she makes CM Punk versus John Cena versus Ryback in a triple threat match for the title at Survivor Series, thus confirming ruining everything they did last week with Team Foley. Now it's like Team Foley versus Team Ziggler when it makes no sense because the whole point was Punk Foley. So now having Foley there makes no sense. It's like stuff like this makes they look stupid because they are stupid. God. Anyways, moving on before we get it was just like what are you guys I was so confused. But yeah, so then Sheamus beats Miz. They had a pretty long match. Big Show was on commentary. No surprise, Sheamus ended up winning, but it was an alright match. It was better than I expected it to be. I was like, oh, Sheamus, but yeah. And then Paul Heyman backstage talking to Wade Barrett. The crowd loved Wade Barrett. There's nothing wrong with that. Wade Barrett ends up joining Team Punk, Heyman, whatever the hell you want to call it now. But Barrett ends up replacing The Miz. And then backstage again, Vicky, right after this, Vicky informs Dolph that, hey, it's your team now. You're the team captain. You're the team captain, brother. I was like, what? I'm so confused. But so Dolph's the new team captain. Punk comes out of the locker room like, hey, you think it's like cool that you're the team captain because Vince is trying to punish me because I beat him up? No, it was just really confusing. But what am I talking about? Oh, so then Vicky's like, oh, and by the way, the main event tonight is you two guys, CM Punk and Dolph Ziggler, against John Cena and Ryback. And who am I thinking of? Oh, Punk's like, is she crazy? Like, is she like, what is she do? Oh, they were just freaking out. It was fun. Then you get a quick. That is a big ass spider. I'm gonna be watching that spider out of the corner of my eye while I'm doing this review. That thing is big. Let me kill this bastard. All right. Join me on a mission to kill the spider. I'll leave it over there for now, but once it starts moving, I'm killing it before it gets anywhere crazy. You got a little backstage thing with Sheamus and Regal. You had to get Regal on TV. Regal's the man. But yeah. Then we get gruesome Divas tag action with Layla and Caitlyn beating Eve and Oksana in a 5-star thriller. There's no enthusiasm in this show, I promise you. It was if you watched it, you understand what's happening. It's just like this is what they're doing. But that's how all taped shows are. Once I knew it was taped, I was not looking forward to this. I didn't read the spoilers because that would have made it doubly ridiculous. But I probably should have because I probably wouldn't have watched. But and then you get Kofi versus Alberto Del Rio. Kofi actually ends up beating Del Rio because right when Del Rio was about to do the cross arm breaker, I think he was about to do Randall Keith Orton's music hits, one of the top 5 theme songs of all time. His music hits and Del Rio gets all confused, looking around. Kofi gets the roll up 1, 2, 3. After the match, Del Rio's freaking out. Orton catches him from behind, RKO. Ta-da! The Grand Master. And then Team Cobra. Some of these things. Team Cobra defeats Primo and Epico in a match that had about as much meaning as my vote tomorrow in Utah, because we all know who's going to win no matter what happens. That's about how much meaning this match had. And then we get a match that I liked simply because it was Wade Barrett in his hometown and he beat Brodus Clay. Yes, Wade Barrett beat Brodus Clay. Let's go Barrett chants. Let's go Barrett. It was incredible. Thank you for letting Wade Barrett beat Brodus Clay, and thank you, crowd, for going crazy like you should have. Double whammy. So I like this match for that fact. And then one of my up-and-coming favorites, Heath Slater, got the victory over one of my not favorites, Jey Uso. But 3MB, baby. Drew McIntyre's, he's doing his thing with his mom, so that's cool. Hopefully she's if you read about it, go read about it. Drew McIntyre's mom is sick. I actually I didn't know what she was sick with, what the little thing was, but sounds not very good. So hopefully she gets better. Drew McIntyre, can get back to being awesome. But Heath Slater gets the win. Heath Slater wins all the time now, and it's awesome because you guys all know back when he was doing the Legends thing, I loved Heath Slater. Now he's in 3MB, which is hilarious. I love 3MB. I promise you guys. And then the main event of the night, we get Cena and Ryback against Punk and Ziggler. Pretty much what happened was Cena just got destroyed the whole match because obviously he didn't want You didn't expect Ryback to be in there all that much, so it was just Cena just getting hounded on, just do. Finally, gets the tag on Ryback. Ryback cleans house like we expected. Ryback ends up hitting Shell Shocked on CM Punk for the win. So, which was surprising because I thought Ziggler was going to take the pin. Whatever. Ryback and Cena win in a absolute shocker. No one could have predicted this. But then they have a face-off between Cena and Ryback to end the show. So you have those guys, and it's like, I hated this Raw. You guys know that something has to suck for me to like, because I just cool with everything, but I hated it. But yeah, and then the whole Survivor Series thing, I'm so confused. It's like the whole basis was Punk versus Foley, and not having to defend his title because it's like the anniversary or something, and it was going to be this, but now all of a sudden Cena and Ziggler, all of a sudden is their storyline moving on because it was the whole scandal thing. Why is Cena in the title picture now? Ryback, he was supposed to, him and Punk are doing their thing. I just want to know who is going to get pinned in this match. Like, seriously, is Cena going to take a pin? I don't think so. Is Punk good? Like, it might end up being Ryback. Like, really, I'm not sure, but I'm interested to see how it goes. And if Brad Maddox ends up repping the triple threat match somehow, I'm going to freak out. But, yeah, so just a lot of confusing things going on. Now it's Foley and Ziggler, which makes no sense at all. But yeah, so let me know what you thought of Raw in the comments below. Subscribe above if you haven't liked this video. Like I said, comment below. And go vote tomorrow. Do it. Obama. Good night, everybody.